I found one of the stupidest videos to react to, and I thought, what better than to make content out of it and to share with my audience? The way you should subscribe. Before we get into the video, you should subscribe. Almost at 200. Thank you, and yeah, let's get into the video.
Cigarettes, they suck, but a ton of people love them. So today, I'm gonna be forcing myself to get addicted to cigarettes. But before I light up my first dart, let's go speak to some cigarette smokers on what they think about my journey to addiction.
As you can see, the video's really messed up already. You know, there's the sound effects and the music in the background, and he's like, "Welcome to my journey to addiction." And it's got a very weird feeling, very dystopian, if you will. You know, it's not really a normal thing in a normal video to watch. But yeah. And also, dart is a very Canadian term. I don't know if he's Canadian, but yeah, that's a very Canadian thing to say, is dart for cigarette.
Excuse me, man. I see you're smoking a cigarette there, and I just have a couple of questions. Do you mind? Do you smoke cigarettes?
My wife has one.
When was the first time you ever smoked a cigarette?
Junior high school?
Junior high school?
Probably 16.
16?
19.
So we got the first act of his video. He goes around talking to these people. When's the first time you smoked? And what do you think about smoking? And why did you smoke? And then he goes, oh yeah, and I'm doing this challenge to see if I can quit cold turkey after 7 days of trying to get addicted. And they're all like, you know, that's not smart. You shouldn't do that. You're kind of stupid.
Okay guys, now that we talked about some cigarette smokers about my journey to addiction, I went and bought me a pack of cigarettes. Now, I asked the lady in the front to give me the weakest kind, because low-key, this is my first time smoking anything. As I opened up my first ever pack of cigarettes, I was traumatized by the smell. Oh my god, smell that shit.
This guy really just said, smell this, as if we can smell it, you know. But I understand the joke there. It's kind of stupid, but I understand it. But, you know, I love the editing and the voiceover. Like, this is the first time of me opening my smoke pack, and the stench was horrible. Oh, look at my face.
Bro, it does make you feel kind of cool to have a cigarette in your mouth.
You know what? I can somewhat agree with that, because, like, I hate to say this word, but the aesthetic of, like, cigarettes and smoking is kind of cool, and is objectively, like, cool to see someone do that. But it is obviously insanely, you know, kind of gross and bad for your body, and so many wrongs with it. But I can say it can be cool, like, to look at. But you know, he ruined that with this picture here.
Now the moment of truth, sparking up this cigarette. There's no way I'm getting addicted to this shit, bro. It's disgusting.
I understand, you know, he's a youngling, you know what I'm saying, and he's playing it up for the video, but it was actually hilarious to see him just act like an absolute kid. The cough was such like a little kid cough, and spitting out, like, it's just so stupid.
As I kept smoking the cigarette, the side effects caught up to me pretty quickly. I feel like dizzy. Like, I don't know if that's what cigarettes do to you, but I feel like my body's like buzzing.
I know he's 100% just not being serious whatsoever here, because everyone knows that, like, nicotine, or, like, even if you're in high school, he would know that he has friends that probably vape, or knows people that vape, and they're like, oh yeah, bro, nicotine gets me the buzz, or whatever. So him being like, oh my, I'm dizzy, and I'm buzzing. Oh my gosh, this is insane. I've never heard of what buzz. What does that even mean?
As I kept smoking, an unwanted guest came out of nowhere and said this.
What are you doing? Are you smoking?
Sorry, Mom.
You're grounded.
No. Okay, guys, so my mom was low-key mad at me, but I told her why I was doing it, and she kind of eased up a little bit, but she's still kind of anxious about it. It's about an hour after I smoked my first cigarette, and now I'm going to smoke another one, but instead of smoking one, I'm going to smoke two at the same time.
Like a freaking boss. And again, there's definitely something that's not too valid. You know, I'm questioning the validity about this, because no mom is just going to be like, oh yeah, I understand him smoking for 7 days and trying to quit after. It's totally normal. You know, he does these challenges all the time. In fact, his next video on the challenge is trying to get addicted to weed in 7 days. And I was the one that inspired him. I told him, you know, what if you get addicted to weed? And he thought, you know, that's a great video idea.
And just like that, not even 24 hours later, I'm smoking 2 cigarettes at the same time. On day 2, I woke up bright and early at 5 a.m. just so I could smoke another cigarette.
Now, I don't know what you call that, but I call that dedication right there. He is dedicated to his content.
I woke up just so I could get a cigarette in, and I'm not even kidding. This time it was like a craving. I didn't think I was going to start developing symptoms of addiction this quickly, but this is kind of crazy. This is where things start to get a little scary. I'm not going to lie, I'm starting to get more relaxed the more I smoke, so I don't know if that's a sign of addiction, but
Dude, I can't. The sad music in the background, like the little piano, it's like do 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 do, and he's like, I can't, guys. I didn't think I'd be getting addiction. I didn't think I'd be getting addicted this quick. Oh my gosh, it's kind of crazy. Do do do. It's actually so amazing.
I gotta go light up this cigarette, and yeah.
Day 3 of the challenge, and I'm already starting off strong with a cigarette in the morning.
A quick little cigarette sesh to start off the day, and let's go get a workout in.
Something that I did not
Now, I'm not one to judge, and I don't want to be rude, but what the hell is this? Why is he wearing a vest at the gym? What is this? What?
expect to happen was in the middle of my workout, I literally left because I started craving a cigarette.
I'm not even gonna lie, this is always that one homie that's like, dude, I could quit if I wanted to. Dude, tomorrow, like, I could literally quit this next second and not vape again in my life. Like, I could literally quit tomorrow. And they're the same people that leave every 2 seconds to vape. Like, they're the same people who would do this, leave them in the middle of doing something just to go get that hit. Like, so this guy then turns into a gangster, does 3 at the time, and then goes to school and starts fiending, and then has this to say now.
So I changed my mind. I don't think I'm going to be smoking cigarettes for 7 days straight. I think that I'm going to stop once I really feel like that I am addicted. Even though right now I do feel like I have temptations and I wake up in the morning needing like nicotine in my body, but I'm going to let it run for a couple more days and see how long it takes me to fully admit that I'm addicted. Right now, I don't really know.
Now, not gonna lie, he kind of caught me there for a second, but he's basically just saying he's gonna finish out the challenge. He's on what, day 3 or 4. I'm gonna wait till a few more days to finish. Yeah, because you have a few more days left. Like it's like he's feeding into his like stupid. Uh, okay, I don't mean to. Okay, I should be careful the way I say this. I don't mean to say this in a rude way, but he's feeding into his younger and more susceptible audience that are going to be like, oh my gosh, he's addicted. He's waiting a few more days. He's addicted when he literally has 3 more days left. He literally has a few more days. He kind of starts yapping at the end, just saying a bunch of stuff about the pros and cons of smoking and what you should do. And oh my gosh, my experience with this, and there's definitely more cons than pros, and this and that. Well, obviously, like, this is probably just one of the stupidest things I've seen. But he goes on and he says this amazing story.
Say this because the guy I was talking to in the beginning of the video in the corner store, he told me when him and his brother used to fight, his dad would come up to them. Instead of breaking up the fight, he would hand them both cigarettes, and then the fight would be solved.
That is probably one of the most lethal stories that I've ever heard. Like, it's so stupid, but it's so awesome. He then finishes out his little yap session and continues to talk about the pros and cons of it and all this stuff and all the bad stuff about it as he's smoking. And then he ends up like throwing his cigarette out in his backyard. Could potentially have started a fire there, didn't think about that. No, I'm kidding, but he kind of yaps here, and then the video ends with, his little song about don't smoke, you're gay, and I smoked, so I'll pay. I don't know. He just says something stupid. But this is probably one of the most idiotic things that I've ever seen. And this is the younger generation. They're doing stupid stuff like this. And he had it was like 300,000 plus views on that video, which are all probably people his age or younger. And yeah, so we're getting people who are doing these challenges of smoking cigarettes for 7 days, as if TikTok challenges weren't enough. Like, TikTok has some stupid quote challenge that someone makes up and does randomly, and they make the most idiotic things that like kill people. They're like, oh, time for the murder challenge. Stab. But I didn't know YouTube challenges were worse. But anyways, I thought I'd share this idiotic thing with you, and I hope you enjoyed. And yeah, peace.